surprised that he didn't build an Ag that game. And that was strange to me because, I mean, they won the game anyway, so who am I to throw aspersions? But thought that with all that amount of damage that was kind of front-loaded damage, like the Omni Slash, all of this Laguna Blade business, the damage from the Shadow Demon Ag, I would have figured that an Ag Abaddon was like, that's the reason that you first picked this hero, is because I'm going to get this damage mitigation tool. I can probably get it a little bit quicker than a Centaur can, and it'll be extremely useful all game long. But instead, he went very utility-oriented. He went for a Vlad's, a Greaves, a Forcef, and a Blade Mail. So really not too much farm, despite having a solo lane, which isn't too surprising. Abaddon is a relatively slow farmer, but didn't go very aggressive with the Abaddon and didn't go very defensive. It was kind of a middle-of-the-road utility build. So I don't really know how much IX Mike changes up the build. If he goes that build every game, then that would be surprising to me that teams are first banning the Abaddon, but if maybe that he just thought that was the best build for the game and it worked, so I can see why they would pick it first again.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, again, I haven't watched a lot of games with him playing. I just know teams have a tendency to ban it against them when it comes to it. So, but we are going to get another chance to see it here. So we are also going to get another chance to see a Tomato Invoker. And apparently DooWop is still a fan of this Lina pick here. They're going to go with the third pick this time around.
Lina pick by herself, maybe not, but Shadow Demon Lina, that seems to be the thing.
Yeah, this is literally the same draft on both sides for the most part. Other than those two, Lifestealer, then into a Slark here.
Yeah, carry picks are going to be a little bit different. This time, actually, Juggernaut is not banned out, and so last game, Juggernaut, or Lifestealer was banned out, and the Juggernaut went through. And I don't really know which hero Yawar prefers playing, but the Juggernaut last game that Yawar was playing left a lot to be desired, in my opinion, for a hero who was getting a lot of free farm, and for a player whom I know to usually have a much stronger impact on the game. So a little bit underwhelming that game. And maybe this game Yawar can... I know Slark is definitely a favorite for Yawar, so I imagine that he's going to be far more active this game than we saw last game.
Sand King, again, the transport for Lifestealer, really, you'd expect. So that's what I was kind of wondering about for Team Freedom, what that transport target was going to be, or with the Abaddon Invoker before that, not really the best heroes for that. So, but Sand King, of course, taking the job. But yeah, the Slark pick, as you're talking about, definitely going to be looking to be more active here, I'm sure, for DooWop and being useful throughout said fights. But again, going from not picking up Lina literally in their team history over 100 competitive matches to now back-to-back games. So somebody said something, Biryu, I guess, the one playing it in the previous game, probably this game, that they want to make it happen. I mean, I will say that it could still potentially be a middle Lina. Maybe they'll swap it up even that crazy-like, but probably similar to last game I would expect now with that fourth position Lina, instead.
In this game, Team Freedom not actually opting to ban out the Alchemist. They were not concerned about the Alchemist, and yet, once again, Shadow Demon Ag is pretty good this game, because last time it was against the Sven, the Great Cleave, which worked out in a few fights, but ultimately Shadow Demon wasn't able to get the proper counter-initiation in the last fight. This game, Feast isn't as important of a passive to break, but still, the Purge and the Slow will be very irritating for Lifestealer, but I mean, I'm just theorizing if DooWop does go for an Alchemist, which isn't necessarily going to be the case.
It could be, as at the same time myself. I mean, not being banned, and 3 out of the 4 heroes are exactly the same lineup. They lost the first game, yes, but they definitely had hope, and maybe just switching that one position from a Juggernaut to more of a very active core in that Slark could be the difference maker. So I wouldn't put it out of the question, but yeah, they got some options here, got some time to think about it. They also know that now Skywrath Mage is a support hero that they're going to be going up against, and he brings, of course, that silence ability, so you have to keep that in mind, too, with this final pick. So maybe if they're thinking about something like a Storm Spirit before, maybe not as likely now, considering Skywrath Mage is on the other side, but we'll see what DooWop does decide here. Is Shadow Fiend still on the board? No, he was banned. Shadow Fiend and Puck were those final 2 bans there from Freedom, so taking away some solid mid options. OD
Puck
still on the board.
OD's still on the board, though. That one game that we saw him, who was he countering specifically? It was OD the Meepo, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you really only see OD if you're trying to counter out a hero like Sniper or the Meepo, I suppose. In this case, even DooWop, they're not too confident going for the Alchemist, and I can kind of see why. Alchemist is a hero that's very, very tanky, and Lifestealer loves pawing away at heroes that have very high HP. Tinker has very low HP, and that blind can be very, very useful against Lifestealer if Rage is down.
They do have a fair amount of catch, I mean, I guess it's really Invoker and Sand King are the two heroes that could catch Tinker when he's, moving around the map as he tends to do. But so I guess it's actually not a bad Tinker team. Tinker matchup, I should say, the more I am looking at it here. In terms of what he has to
especially
worry about.
If the Lifestealer is going to be packaged in with that Sand King, then it's going to be great. The concern that I have is I don't know where Sand King's going to get his farm, because his Blink Dagger timing is very important in this game. More so than other games, because a lot of times whenever I see Lifestealer, he usually has a choice. He usually has an early to mid-game option, which is usually something like a Slardar or Centaur, heroes that can get easily in just based off of move speed talent or move speed spells like the Sprint or the Stampede. This game, IX Mike needs to use Burrow Strike to actually get the stun on someone. He can't just use it to get in and have Lifestealer uninfest out. So we'll see how much priority Freedom puts on getting IX Mike his farm.
Headed towards the bottom lane, of course, and he's going to get that early ward down here. As places it without being seen, it looks like. The middle lane also has the Observer ward to spot on the other side a little further, and so does the Radiant side. So interesting there that both teams decide to place these middle wards here.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, and actually Radiant placed theirs a little bit later, so I'm not sure if anyone was paying attention to mid. It's possible that Shadow Demon placed it just barely out of vision, but I feel like Shadow Demon would have been right there, which would have been seen by the Dire ward, but I don't think anyone on Dire has sentry wards anyway. Eagle actually has, yet again, a straight-up Null Talisman. Last game we saw him do that on the Leshrac. This game we're seeing him doing it on the Skywrath.
That almost feels like lazy, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? It works. He makes it work, so...
It's very self-sacrificial and very arrogant at the same time, because he has no gold, so he bought support items, and then he's just like, I don't need regen. Regen's for babies.
Yeah.
I'm here to annoy the hell out of Tinker with a bunch of Qs, and then who knows what I'll be up to after that.
Likes his stats. Obviously, Villa Discord could potentially be a solid item choice too, so can be a nice transformation into that, if he so chooses to. But going to start by harassing Tinker with a lot of Arcane Bolts, as you would expect. So, yeah, no regen necessary, just has even the bigger mana pool, and he's going to Q.
747 immediately stashes another salve because he knows he's going to have to go through this one very quickly.
That's going to be, he might be in trouble. Cold snaps, is it enough? No, it's not. Nice fairy fire at the last second, and the final auto attack not enough. And Tomato, though, he still wants this. And 747 gets credit for the kill.
That goes down to the tower aggro. Man, he was really... I can understand why he went for it, because that one more Arcane Bolt would have finished the Tinker off. And so, went in real deep. I guess on the Constellation Prize, he is now full HP and full mana, so he can now go to the top lane and do the same thing to a Slark.
I'm sure he's not as excited about that, but yes, I guess that's one positive thing to take from that, getting first blood right there. But yeah, I didn't even notice the last tower hit onto him, and all of a sudden that popped up. And sure enough, first blood in favor of DooWop and 747. So talk about that early harassment, how you mentioned he queued up that extra salve, like, okay, this is going to be a pain. And he ends up getting a first blood, actually. So that turns out pretty well, and now he doesn't have to deal with them, as Skywrath made his way to the top lane, trying to push out Lina here. But how about this lane? Lina Slark versus a Lifestealer Skywrath. This is not
it was
typical.
Lina Slark. Now it's Lina Slark Shadow Demon, and this is the combo that DooWop likes to run here. BSJ, he's getting... I mean, he has Rage, though, so yeah, it's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, too difficult to time that. He just easily presses that Q, and in that Rage, and he is more than fine. So, but if they happen to catch him without the Rage active, or another hero, of course, then yes, that combo, very deadly in terms of the setup there. Oh, Skywrath barely gets the bounty rune in front of Shadow Demon. Nice snipe there. Meanwhile, Tinker will bottle up the Invis rune here in the middle lane. Invoker going to use the Shrine. How's Tinker doing now? Tinker now 12-7 against a 7-0 Invoker. This was an Invoker that had Skywrath spamming Arcane Bolts in a Tinker at the beginning of the game. Does that surprise you?
It's true, but it's also this time a QW Invoker, whereas last time we saw Tomato play the Exort Primary Invoker, and against a Tinker, that's a bit of a tricky kill on the top lane. Wait, is that top lane?
Yeah, that was top lane. Shadow Demon got picked off. I was kind of focused on the middle lane as we are talking about that too, so unfortunately missed that action, but...
Yeah, but it's difficult for a QW Invoker to go up against a Tinker like this. Tinker has 71 damage, and Invoker has 66 damage, so it's a bit of a gap for him to close, especially when he has to deal with Laser and Rocket Arrest.
That's 747 here on the Tinker, definitely making use of great early farm. Meanwhile, bottom lane, what's going on down here? Mike, he's cutting the creep wave, taking advantage of that Caustic Finale. And
this is perfect. He's very happy to be in this lane right now, and honestly, if I were DooWop, I would put more of a priority in making sure that Mike doesn't get effectively free farm, because, I mean, snaking, he's having to tank tower hits, and this is an Underlord who's actually losing the lane 1v1 against another melee hero, and that's something you almost never see. IX Mike, he's just stealing this creep wave. I'm actually surprised he's not dragging it into the jungle camps, but now it looks like...
Yeah, Invoker going down. That was that setup. They roamed in, and he could not react in time with the Shadow Demon open, so... Great combo. Ends up being a big kill, but yeah, as you're talking about IX Mike, he's doing a fantastic job at the bottom lane in terms of being very smart about it. He has 1,000 gold already saved up. Looks like he is going to finish the Tranquil Boots first. He finds Shadow Demon right here. He's spamming the Shrine, wants to be able to click it in time. He does. Now, again, the positive is they force him to use it at a spot where maybe they didn't want to. Sand King needs to be able to get away, though, for this to be definitely worth it. Rocket coming out. The barrel strike was a little too early there. And he dies.
Yeah, I don't actually know if Burrow Strike disjoints the rocket, so he may have been dead regardless, seeing as how he had no points in Sandstorm, but yeah, nice timing on this haste rune. And now, after an Invoke kill and a Sand King who I was just now praising, Tinker is having a really nice lane right now.
Yeah, 747, just like last game on the Alchemist, is looking to try to take early control for his team and set some great momentum, but IX Mike on the Sand King, comes back to the bottom lane and continues farming as if nothing even happened. He's got the Tranquil Boots, he's got the Infused Raindrop on it now. Top lane Snaking should be able to pour it out in time, just take some good pressure while he's launching that TP out. But Skywrath is setting up down here, does have the Ancient Seal as well, so the
Shadow Demon's waiting here, though. They want him to go on Slark.
Yeah, they know something's up. I don't know if they've seen the Skywrath mage or not. I mean, they currently don't, but they're hunting. Oh, now they see him. They put him under. This should be a dead Skywrath, possibly. IX Mike, though, is not able to disrupt the stun from Lena. Out comes the nuke as well from the Dragon Slave, and actually will get the kill, but it comes at a cost for her own life as the Epicenter was used. And now Slark needs to be able to get on out of here. Darkbacked, trying to save him. Viryu here, though, on Shadow Demon. Another Burrow Strike? No, he doesn't have enough mana, actually. Wants to dive this, though, putting in some more auto attacks. And yes, it is going to be enough for the double kill.
Oh,
for
no, the
IX
creeps.
Mike. TP, yeah. Taken aggro by Abaddon right there. So back and forth at the bottom lane. 2 for 1, though, in favor of Freedom.
2 for 1, but they don't get the Slark. They only got the supports, but still, it's better than nothing. Only had to rotate and Abaddon down and make Yawar waste some time. He actually migrated down to this bot lane after snaking when this Underlord was like, man, I don't want to have to deal with this Sand King. Someone else do it. And so the entire top lane migrated down bot, and it seems like Team Freedom's going to return the favor. Skywrath is in the vicinity as well as IX Mike. I don't know if Viryu, now he spots out everything with that ward.
Yeah, got a Burrow Strike in. The concussive shot comes out. The Arcane Bolt. On top of the silence, another auto attack should do it. There we go. The auto attack from Sand King actually secures it. And Yara here on Slark, he knows he's in a bit of trouble too. He'll pounce out before he gets caught. But yeah, Slark has not necessarily been able to have a free farm down here 100%. As clearly is finding some issues as that roam is taking place middle lane. Another EMP going off. Going to catch 747 there, burn some of the mana. But does seem like Tinker, slight edge, but yeah, Invoker has definitely climbed back a bit himself.
Well, Tinker's slight edge overall, but right now he's 800 net worth on top of the Invoker. That's really good, especially seeing as how he hasn't been like using March to spam out creep jungle camps either. He's just basically been sitting around in the lane. And now there's a really nice wraparound going on this Invoker. I don't think Tomato suspects a thing.
Nope. And why should he? Because they were smoked up. There's the catch. Soul Catcher comes out. LSA lands, and the laser from Tinker to finish the job. Sand King, Burrow Strike ready to go, but could not get there in time, of course, and instead will have to just cry at his teammate's death. But his teammates at the bottom lane, Abaddon and Skywrath, are going to continue to push it in, as finally we do see a TP, though, from Slark, and another one coming in as well. Slark, he's got that pounce. He's going to land it on the Skywrath right here. Can Abaddon save the day? They're going for a turn, actually, on Yara on that Slark. He'll manage to barely live, but a lot of return damage, maybe unexpected. But the disruption onto Skywrath, and the chase is on from Underlord. Man. Back here, though, who's that cleaning up? That, of course, be Sand King. He does pick off Slark. He needs to get out of it. No Sandstorm on him. 3 seconds on that Burrow Strike. Takes the LSA initially, but Skywrath still nearby. Tinker, comes in with those bots that he now has, but is not able to really do enough. And Invoker still wants a kill, though, but not going to happen. Now he takes a laser to the face. So can Invoker make this escape here? He's going to keep running. It looks like he is with the Aphotic Shield.
Someone on Freedom should have definitely died, especially if your Slark just got killed. It was actually a bit... I don't really know if Biryu should have gone for that disruption on the Skywrath at the beginning of the gank, because I'm pretty sure that this Skywrath was dead within the Firestorm, but then there was a little bit of downtime inside of the disruption, and immediately Jubei used Mist Coil and Aphotic Shield on the Skywrath, and Skywrath with his extremely high passive move speed of 325 just zoomed on out, and then after that, Sand King was just, like you said, in the backlines, spotted out this really low Slark that just wanted to leave the fight after basically starting the fight, and DooWop getting the really worst end of that fight big time.
Yeah, it's 5-5 hero kills, but definitely the net worth and the experience lead in their favor, and they're picking this area. They got vision of it. Nice Sentry Ward put down, so they know the ward's there now, but are unable to counter it currently. As Team Freedom continuing to make their way over here. The Shrine is ready to use, so again, you got to be a little careful if you're Freedom and where you position your fight here. BSJ pounding away at the tower with that Rage active, deny attempt, gonna miss. Radiant Scan comes out, so see them over here. Skywrath actually in an awkward spot. Can they chase him down? Rocket gonna be used. He throws the silence on a Tinker. And he's gonna be
getting epicentered.
Oh, wow, yeah, already used. Not enough damage for the kill, but should be enough in the end. Elsa hits, but Invoker's here. One auto attack should do it. There you go. Eventually chase him down. But yeah, Sand King with that Blink Dagger now, so pretty damn good timing on the Blink Dagger of Ike's Mike.
Very good timing. Yeah, now 2 towers gone. That means this map is becoming smaller and smaller for DooWop, which makes the threat of Lifestealer bombs that much worse. Lifestealer has been quietly farming away top of the net worth chart, has the armlet completed, and has another 1,400 gold ready to go. I'm curious what BSJ will go for. I would think Echo Saber would be the move, but really there are many options right now, especially with your Sand King having such a high start. You could even go for a Desolator if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's what I was wondering myself. You know, does he just kind of go that greedy style? Feels like BSJ, again, he is one of these players that he has a mind of his own, and he's not afraid to do it. I hear he likes Helm of the Dominator, so. Sand King, middle lane. Yeah, he's dead. He ain't getting away from that. A little too much there, so not making the best use of that Blink Dagger, unfortunately, in the decision-making that time around, but still a lead here for Team Freedom nonetheless. It does look like Skywrath, by the way, is getting that Veil, so yeah, he's going to turn the first Null Talisman, gets a second one, and eventually going to finish a full-on Villa Discord here, but I mean, Lifestealer after that armlet, they obviously got Sand King with the Blink Dagger. You'd figure Team Freedom is maybe going to try to use that here in the near future. They have not made a play yet with it.
It's possible they may be waiting for Epicenter to come back, and so now 15 seconds until that. Or maybe they'll just group up for a push. Tomato has 4 points in Quas, 4 points in Wax, which, I mean, it's nothing exceptional for an Invoker. It doesn't, like, do anything, but it just means that he's pretty well leveled and ready to join into team fights instead of just sitting around Midasing things, which is what we had seen previously from Tomato.
Yeah.
And now they get in, load in the Lifestealer into the Sand King. Let's see what they can find.
Top lane, Abaddon pushing it out. Abaddon's farm, you know, you look at his items currently, not the prettiest, but think, okay, yeah, he's going to have a Soul Ring finished here, as well as the Ring of Basilisk sitting in that inventory, or the stash even, so he's actually got quite a bit stashed up. And, yeah, going to be finishing things here. Okay, actually going to get the Trinkle Boots. And there we go with the Soul Ring, so... Oh, what was that? That was Viryu dying at the bottom lane down here. That was Lifestealer finding him, it looks like, and they did have Sand King, so yeah, they did use the Infest Bomb. Just happened not to catch it.
At least Epicenter is still off cooldown, didn't have to waste it on a Shadow Demon kill. And it looks like BSJ is going to be going for a Maelstrom first item on this Lifestealer, which... I can kind of see the value. You can burn through the illusions that Shadow Demon will create, and I guess maybe get some lucky bounces on a Tinker, so that if Tinker's hanging around in the fight, he can't easily blink out. But yeah, they're so far ahead right now that they can really go for whatever they want.
Middle lane, they're trying to catch Tomato here. They do initially with the Pit of Malice. In comes the Disruption. There's a follow-up. Soul Catcher applied, and the Laguna Blade to secure the kill onto him. So that's a big kill in favor of DooWop. Again, Tomato's Invoker has been very effective the first game and so far into this one. Keeping him in check here.
Really big kill, actually, because he was super close to finishing that Hand of Midas. He was basically like 200 gold away, and now he's it's 14 minutes in, and he hasn't even used the Midas for the first time yet. So it sucks, especially because Slark also manages to complete his Midas just now, and Slark did not have very good lane. So at least DooWop have their own slightly behind core, and so does Team Freedom.
You know, this is kind of. Is this the same Slark? I think it might be. There was a game earlier in this group stages where there was a Slark player that went Hannah Midas into Yasha, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm wondering if he's going to do that same thing, which, again, it sounds odd. It doesn't sound like it's the greatest. In that game, it just didn't go too well for them. So I wonder if that's what he's going to do here. Shadow Dance, by the way, going off, as he took a lot of return damage unexpectedly due to the Mystic Flare, and they do turn onto the Luna with the Sand King, a Lifestealer combo, again with the Infest Bomb. And now you see Slark up here. He does not have a TP. He's kind of playing the game of, all right, how do I escape here now? Okay, he does have a TP. What am I saying? He did have one.
He did. He just didn't have the mana, and so now we're going to get some emergency mana after baiting his Lina into a death. That magic amp from the Skyrath Silence. Most people focus on just the silence itself, but this game, with all this burst damage between the Burrow Strike, the release of the Infest, that initial jump onto a target is a ton of magic burst that even I don't think an Underlord would be able to stand up to it, which is why Underlord is going to be going for a pipe right now.
Yeah, no doubt will be a solid item to be picking up here, but you talked about Lifestealer, and the Maelstrom has been finished. And, yeah, I mean, he currently has queued up a full-on Mjolnir here as well.
Yeah, which, going into a March and Firestorm, it's pretty good. You'll get a lot of procs from the shield, and obviously, I guess it's a really good attack speed item, and oh, what a tornado.
Connects right on top of the Burrow Strike. He is put under, though, by Shadow Demon. They're going to keep Underlord alive. They do lose a tower. Tomato the last hit, but in comes Tinker. Unable to do enough, however. We'll just simply push them back for the time being. Mentioned, though, Invoker, he did just finally get the Hand of Midas, use the first charge. Of course, the Ags is queued up. And going to be coming out again next in line for him. But
that's surprising. I guess Tomato just likes Ag second item, because I thought it was because he went for, I guess, the passive QE style Invoker that we saw last game, that he didn't want to have to participate in team fights until he got that Ag. And like I was saying last game, it's kind of difficult to stay relevant as an Invoker in the mid game before you complete that Ag. Like, he's going to have the point booster now, but he's still 3k of gold away from completing anything. And I mean, he would like to defend for this fight. Maybe he's not necessary because you are.
That Shadow Demon, beautiful timing on the response. The Shadow Dance goes off, but it doesn't matter. He still falls in the midst of it. Sand King picked off as well. A 1-for-1 right now. EMP doesn't look like it's going to connect. Lina did use that Laguna Blade to secure the kill onto the Slark. Meanwhile, the Dark Rift activated. They're going somewhere. Back to base, maybe? Yeah, they're just going back to base and going to throw up some regen so they can quickly make it elsewhere. They wanted to, but yeah, we're continuing to see this big burst initially.
Invoker pops in, tossed out a tornado, and then that was really it. Which, I don't really expect an Invoker immediately post Midas to have useful items. Midas is a very common item, but it's still that's going to be the case for at least like another 7 or so minutes where this Invoker can show up to fights, cast 2 spells, 3 spells, and then he can't really stand in the fight because he's not tanky enough to deal with this March and this AoE magic burst that's coming out all over the place. And that's just assuming that Slark keeps getting insta-gibbed, which is happening quite a bit, and I feel for Yawar, which is why he's going to be going for Shadow Blade instead of that Yasha first.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that was him, but I do remember watching a match earlier in this group stages and being like, kind of scratching my head at that one. That's not the typical thing, but yeah, the Shadow Blade, more of the routine, of course, on the Slark. Hand Midas for that earlier greed, and that'll no doubt be a nice tool to take advantage of in terms of trying to avoid getting killed. And see that right here, he's going to take some pressure, but he actually goes in onto Evoker, realizing that's all he had. Ghost Walk pot, but going to miss there with the Lina combo. Good job by Tomato expecting that. He's taking some good damage to the March still. Needing to get out of that. He does have 9 charges on that magic wand.
Strike on the Tinker.
Oh, does he have Life Stealer? No, he doesn't. Mystic Flare in the background, though. Silence on a Tinker, and yes, enough damage for the kill with the Arcane Bolt. So Skywrath using that Veil of Discord here.
Yeah, at first I thought this Veil was going to be primarily defensive because it's a great item on anti-heroes with, I guess, really good HP regen. 6 HP regen per second on a support hero is perfect because there isn't really that much additional magic damage. I know I was hyping up the amp with the Burrow Strike and the Infest Bomb, but that requires, I guess, it's not always that Skywrath will be in position to do that. So the Veil I thought would be kind of a defensive item, but using it to get kills on Tinker, and that was a really important kill. Right now they're going in on Mike again in mid.
I'll just walk it off, though. Burrow Strike coming off good on, doesn't even need it there. Meanwhile, back to Skywrath real quickly, too. Is he building a Rod of Atos? No, he's actually going Dagon here. Okay, I was wondering if he's going to get the Rod here, but
wow.
Going to Dagon with the Staff of Wizardry. That with the Veil. Okay, so he is definitely looking more offensive.
Yeah, so let's see. Veil boosts up magic damage by 25%, and then his Ancient Seal, which is now maxed, boosts it up by 45%, which is overall like a 70% increase on magic damage. That is painful.
It does sound pretty damn strong, so that'll be fun to watch from our perspective at least, not so much for DooWop, in terms of whichever target he happens to catch, but yeah, just being able to burn down that Slark quickly. Okay, it looks like a team disconnect here.
Restarting the Trouter.
Restarting that Trouter. Damn Trouters. All right, so going to throw the restart out and get that fixed and good to go. So once again, guys, want to thank you for tuning in tonight. We got our final game of the night here, Team Freedom versus DooWop. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Tsunami here as my co-caster. And final game of the night, and then tomorrow there's only one series that's taking place, but it just so happens to be a pretty important series once again. I'm personally not going to be casting it, but I definitely will be watching it, that's for sure. Complexity going to be playing Team NP. If Team NP wins one game in that series, even just one game, let alone 2-0, they're going to be going to Shanghai. They're going to be representing the America region in the main event of the Starladder iLeague StarSeries. However, if Complexity pulls off the upset of sorts and they go 2-0, then it will be Digital Chaos going to the main event. So, again, Complexity themselves aren't necessarily playing for anything more than just being spoiler, but, again, knowing them, they're definitely going to take it seriously. They're facing a team in Team NP that they have had a very rough time against in their history, so you know that they would like to actually play spoilers, I'm sure, and get a victory, but yeah, DC, they're going to be, if you're a DC fan and DC themselves, I'm sure they're going to be Complexity fans tomorrow in this event here. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to watching that there. Should be a good series. Hope Complexity at least wins the first game, and then it turns out to be like a 90-minute back and forth Naga Siren versus Animage battle.
Will they even play, if Complexity does drop game 1, do they play the rest of the series or not?
I mean, they'll, just like this match, I'm sure they'll play it out, but yeah, at that point it wouldn't matter.
They're just marching Complexity to their death pretty much.
Yeah. Apparently restarting that router, so hopefully not much longer though. Well, we are good to go. So, and again, actually, so I heard it from earlier, by the way. Now, we already knew Team Liquid was going out of Europe, but I heard, and I'm confirming right now, yes, it looks like so Team Secret is going to be the second team going out of the European region. Because no matter what, there are a couple matches tomorrow as well for the European region. However, nothing can change the results. So it will be Liquid and Secret coming from the European region. That's fun to see. Secret, I'm a big fan of them, especially Keizu, a former Han player, and I've followed him for a long time. So looking forward to seeing their success continue. And then Liquid, a great team with somewhat of a newer roster, but a large fan base too. So looking forward to that. And then TNC's coming out of the Southeast Asian region. On that as well. There you go. There's your Starladder iLeague StarSeries event recap. Oh, there's the Chinese region. Well, who came out of there? China was VGJ, I want to say. Yeah, VGJ and IG Vitality. And then Wings Gaming was one of the invited teams. So that's kind of the other funny thing about this event. It's supposed to the main event is supposed to happen in the later part of February, but we still don't know the second invited team. Wings Gaming was announced like a month or so ago. My guess is people are obviously speculating either EG or OG, but we don't know. So, still trying to figure that out, apparently. As far as who goes. All right, back to the game, though. Enough of all that. Skywrath, okay, so going to turn. He misses the Mystic Flare, though. And is that going to be the difference maker for 747 to get away? It absolutely is. And now Skywrath, he's in trouble. TP almost happened, actually. That was a hell of an attempt. Not enough, but...
Yeah, nice blind Dragon Slave being sure to pick up the kill. And man, if he had gotten that Mystic Flare, if he didn't get his ankles broken by Tinker right there, that would have been a huge kill, because this is just a... Basically, yeah, it's a 5-position Skywrath mage. Being able to kill a solo mid would have been immense. And, I mean, this is pre-Dagon. If Tinker does manage to show up and doesn't get his blink off in time, he's going to have to worry about the Skywrath all game long.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you see that damage right there for sure. Like, this Skywrath, a 4-roll support hero, the fact that he has potential to just do that much insane damage, you got to be a little worried if you're DooWop. Now, Shadowblade, of course, is going to help the cause of Slark, as you mentioned, and has that finish now. So good for him there. Bottom lane, Tinker continuing to push out, but he'll port away. Before Sand King can find him.
There's one anti-Tinker ward up now, and IX Mike isn't going to really be able to finish off a Tinker himself. I mean, this is obviously, it's going to be relevant for the next 5.5 minutes, but I don't really know why Mike is chilling here. Might find this Invis snaking if he goes in on Eagle.
Yeah, Lord just kind of walks
mid
up
lane.
by. Whoa!
You are Shadowblade reveal onto the Invoker. At least Invoker, at the last second, completes his Aghanim Scepter, so doesn't lose any gold. But at least you are finding a way to get back into this game, because he has not really been having the best first 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a big kill for sure for DooWop. I apologize on the camera work right there, but nice jump on a Tomato, getting him killed. As you mentioned, at least got the axe before. Pounce does not connect on onto Sand King, that is, as he Burrow strikes away before he can get caught. But all 5 of DooWop making their way to the bottom lane, and going to be pushing out here. Now, the first tower that is actually still up as we get about 22 minutes in, but IX Mike, he's nearby. He's got an Epicenter, level 2, ready to go. As well as the Skywrath mage here.
Yeah, Mjolnir is fully completed for Lifestealer as well. So we'll see. Oh, and a double damage rune. They would really like to take a fight right now. Unfortunately, it's just WFO Lina that's stuck around.
That would be a nice kill, but... yeah.
Oh, Tomato, though. Top lane.
Is he in trouble? He sure is. Ghost Walk. That's not going to matter, though. They got the detection, and they're going to find him. Collapse on top of him. That's the second death now. Boy, this Shadowblade on Slark is definitely paying off. Yeah, this is what Tomato would like to be doing, actually. He's gone this heavy QW, and he would like to be able to follow up, get some scouting information for the Sand King and this Lifestealer, and then provide the initiation, because, I mean, like we mentioned, the Sand King early Blink Dagger should be working wonders, but right now, Freedom has not been able to find anything past that initial Shadow Demon kill in the Radiant Jungle, which is surprising, because I would have figured with Lifestealer having such a good start, they should have been finding kills all over the place. Well, Lifestealer is going to push out the bottom lane right here with the rest of the team somewhat nearby, but you look at Lina, again, still in that flank position. He's got the Aether lens, setting up as if maybe the team's going to be TPing in and they're going to play, but no, she is going to fall all the way back, actually, buy a TP herself or go to the side job, more so split push here.
Radiant just wasted their glyph also. That sucks.
Oh, they missed it? Yeah, because they died there, yeah. That's unfortunate. Lina has to get away. LSA comes out, and the TP is in time.
Top lane, BSJ gets broken.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's in trouble. Going to be purged right there. Heavily slowed. Will be able to jump inside a creep, though. And managed to escape the Dark Pact. Going to even be healed up is the creep.
And a Phonic Shield. Yeah, let's go.
Let's keep him alive. And so BSJ pops out and feeling good again. But again, not really using it offensively, which you usually like to be doing. That infest. Oh, bottom. 747. There's a silence. Mystic Flare. Oh, the Sunstrike. Not in time. And he avoids it. And who's this over here? Somebody gets caught. That would be Sand King.
Oh man, he really needs to not die. He has this gem. But in comes Tinker. Nice Sandstorm.
Yeah, he just got that. So the Sandstorm goes off and, you know, just a blink dagger away. I would not want to lose that right away.
No, Jay's Mike's still sticking around. You are. Never mind.
Obviously, he sees him, though, with the gem, so knows that he's nearby, and yep, just going to play tight. 747 off to the side. At the top lane, BSJ knows he's somewhere. He was going to find him, actually. And now Tinker on the run. Blink dagger, 1 second. Gets it. Woo. Sunstrike not going to be in time. And sayonara.
People keep getting so close to death and just a few attacks away survive. And I'm surprised that no team has actually gone for a team fight or even Roche at this point, because I feel like there's enough map control and freedom to go for a play like that, but it's possible they're just really hungry for a Tinker pick first before they decide to really commit for any objective.
Who does this favor, though? Like, I feel like DooWop, you know, Tinker especially can be pretty dangerous if you kind of just let him. Obviously, they're trying to pick him off, but he is doing a good job of evading, staying alive, getting the farm, and then you have a Slark just kind of doing his farm thing. Does this favor DooWop the longer this game kind of plays out here?
I think it's even for the most part right now, because Tomato went for this Midas that he can kind of scale at a similar rate to this Tinker, so both the mids are going to be scaling similarly, and I consider Slark and Lifestealer to also be pretty comparable. Lifestealer this game, although, has had a much better start. Oh, they could find the Tinker for once.
They did it.
He's dead.
This time he ain't getting away.
That was a really good get, because they didn't have the anti-Tinker ward this far out, so there really isn't that much territory that a Tinker can blink to if he goes in this area, so yeah, you kind of don't have very many choices. But the fact that Sand King and Skywrath were both there, really nice awareness. And now this is what I was saying, they can get a Tinker pick and then they can finally commit for an objective.
I love how BSJ is just this kind of player of, I just do my thing, man. Freaking Mjolnir into a Radiance here on Lifestealer. Talk about a pretty unique build, but...
Oh, top lane. Slark gets found out. He has no mana for anything.
Oh, Throw Strike misses, though, but the Cold Snap's happening. And he has to stand his ground. Yeah, he is dead for sure. He's just trying to maybe get a turn kill, but that ain't going to work with the toe-to-toe battle right there. So they do pick him off, and he's dead for 60 seconds, actually. That's a pretty crucial kill, that is. As taking him out, and Tinker was trying to port in here at the bottom lane to help out Shadow Demon, but the creep got killed immediately.
Dagon.
And they jump in with the Infest, get that kill. He does have Dagon using it right there as well. The Mystic Flare catching Tinker a little bit. Going to scare him off, if anything. Lifestealer toggling that armlet, still trying to stay alive. Eagle's caught in the front lines, and he is not able to finish off Belina there.
Invoker has Sunstrike. I hope he goes for it. You going to go for it?
Nope.
No. Man.
Not going to happen. Tomato's unable to do it, or chose not to. Whatever the case. But yeah, this Lifestealer, Radiant's finished. All right. I got to figure this is, now you're feeling pretty good about maybe taking a fight S5 perhaps if you're Team Freedom.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this Veil pickup as well from Skywrath. They originally said that there's not that much magic damage that's going to be coming out from the rest of his team. Oh. Wow, I'm just not
Did he actually get it?
Any of this. Yeah. Well, he got
Lena right there. Yeah. And Lifestealer nearby to join them as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He's going to push it out. Alacrity applied. Do some damage to the tower. Pops the rage. Going to get it, and then he TPs away before they have a turn on him. So, well played there. I wonder if Slark is going to try to prioritize that. Look, I mean, he's getting match style now, but of course that Basher could come into play. And actually, speaking of Slark, they jump him up here. Again, the Shadow Dance goes off, though. Sunstrike doesn't hit. Yeah, you're right. No silence used, actually. Finally, he's right here to get the turret kill with a Dagon. Oh, man. There's your silence. He does die, but he killed Slark, so I think he's fine.
Yeah, I'll take that shred. I'm guessing that he held on to the silence because he thought that Slark probably hit the Q as soon as he saw the Sand King and didn't want it to get instantly purged off. But, I mean, he gets the kill in the end, so well played by Eagle.
That's actually a very fair point. Yeah, if anything, waiting for the Dark Pack to be used first. And then throwing up that silence. So perhaps that was the plan all along. And, hey, he gets the kill, so excellent play indeed. Actually playing pretty well this series. Going to have the crazy Lotus Orb that first game on the Leshrac. And pretty solid move right there. As Lifestealer, he's even going to get bots now. And he currently has queued up, so.
He's been getting pretty heavily kited by this Demonic Purge. Like, he was, at least on 2 occasions, he met Biryu just with each other hanging out. And he just couldn't kill him because Demonic Purge is way too good of a slow. IX Mike going for the Burrow Strike. I mean, the Epicenter, but this is a piped up Underlord.
That's not working. And now IX Mike on that Sand King. He's in trouble. Pops the Sandstorm. In the background, Mystic flares up. The silence on a Shadow Demon. Sand King has to sit inside that Sandstorm, though. They pick off the Skywrath Mage, and he's sitting inside here with the March. The Sunstrike way is going to miss, it sounds like. And Tamada going to blink on out before he gets caught. Nice see Sand King realizing it's time to get out. Has a TP. Going to try to use it right here. And he'll be
space
good.
Creation. BSJ and Jubei in the mid lane take the final tier 2, which means that Shrines are next, and that means Roche will probably come soon after.
Yeah, Roche is up, so ready to go. And they want to, but as you mentioned, there's a Shrine. And so the top Shrine, the only outer tower now remaining. Top lane. It's just Tinker nearby, spamming out that March.
Yeah, Tinker has to be extra careful now because, as we saw there, he was getting burned by Lifestealer Radiance, so even if he did want to blink out, if he thinks that he's been spotted, he's not going to be able to do so easily.
That's definitely a good point. So that Radiance, so you got to wonder, maybe that is a little bit the logic of Lifestealer too. Happening.
I would think so, yeah, because otherwise, if you want to go for the Radiance, you'll get it earlier than a Mjolnir, because it's a farming item, I suppose, to an extent. But now it seems like it's a utility item to make sure that the Tinker can't easily escape.
And it just so happens to provide plenty of damage, 65 to be exact. Yeah, they're going to look for a jump over here. Skywrath up. Yorar, Dark Pack just used. They missed the stun, though, and he pops the Shadow Dance just in case to make sure to get the hell on out of there. So hit that stun, that's probably a kill for sure.
Meanwhile, bot lane, Invoker was dueling with Snaking, but Max Atrophy Aura and a Glimmer Cape plus Pipe. Dude has 59% magic resist right now. He's not taking anything.
Yeah, and then you throw the Glimmer Cape use. Yeah, there's no way that you're killing him as a solo Invoker. But St. Olo pushing it out. There's the Yasha now on Slark. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's gone to the Manta earlier. So going to finish that very soon, actually. Just has enough gold now for that Ultimate Orb. As, who's this pink? That would be Skywrath over here. Dagon level 1 still. Actually building a Shadow Blade next, so wants a bit of mobility. Gonna try to get away right here, but he's found the Scythe used by 747. That's a new toy of his. And they will secure the kill on the Skywrath, so catching off guard with that new Scythe pickup from Tinker.
Very important pickup. I'm glad that he managed to complete it this early on, because in these next few fights, especially now that Aegis is about to be claimed by Freedom, it's going to be very important to make sure that this Lifestealer stays kited, and you can do it a little bit with Pit of Malice, you can do it a little bit with Demonic Purge, but you're going to need every single part of it to make sure that this Lifestealer can't close the gap on the high priority targets like the Slark and the Tinker.
Yeah, BSJ here in Lifestealer, he's 4-0-2 in this game. So obviously he hasn't died yet, but hell, look at Abaddon even. 0-0-3. Really have not been too active this game. Again, overall, 15 hero kills. Not the craziest amount, as open wounds activated on a Tinker. And the chase is on from Lionstealer. Takes the scythe, though. The Burrow Strike's done in, but the Glimmer Cape comes out. Is it enough to save? Yes, it is. A Sunstrike helps secure the kill. BSJ actually got credit for the kill. Meanwhile, Slark standing his ground. Shadow Dance popped, and he'll live. Lifestealer does go down in the Aegis. Going to bring it right back out. Tinker is staying dead, though, by the way. No buyback for a good 50 seconds or so. He's going back in. Link is applied to him. And now you got that Mjolnir going off as well, but dropping about half life, so need to be careful. It doesn't have the infest. Doesn't want to go too yellow. You'd figure without Tinker that they could be able to break this, but it's proven to be a little more difficult than maybe they hoped.
Yeah, especially because Slark is having to play so passively. This gem on IX Mike makes initiation a really tricky affair for the Slark, which is why he's staying on the outskirts of the fight. He really wants to go in, but as soon as he shows his face, he's going to get like every single spell thrown at him.
All right, well, that's going to be that. So, hell of a hold there by DooWop, really, considering they lost their Tinker right off the bat. You talk about their best counter pusher. That March especially being spammed out, but still able to hold. And Lena, by the way, just got her own Ags. We were talking about last game, didn't end up seeing it with the Alchemist, but she buys it herself.
A lot of farm. Yeah, wow, okay. So then, even Biryu on this Shadow Demon has managed to complete an Aether Lens, so all the supports of DooWop are building, I guess, defensively oriented, while the Skywrath is going high aggression. He actually went back for the Glimmer Cape on Eagle Skywrath, so not getting more levels in the Dagon as some people might be tempted to, and looks like he's going to be going for a 4-staff next.
Okay, yeah, the Glimmer Cape is the pickup. Yeah, saw that he had the Shadow Blade queued up earlier. I was kind of curious about that, but Glimmer Cape making a little more sense. Catch down here on Alina. That's a dead Lina. Did she try to ulti? No, okay. I thought she tried to ulti for a second. Just popping the Dragon Slave, unfortunately. Not going to do any damage, and she goes down. So Tomato.
Ooh, 747.
Tinker dying again. He would not have a buyback. He is going to make it out before that happens, though. Tinker, by the way, how about this? He's going that Eth Blade. It's going to be his choice.
More disarm for the Lifestealer, and obviously if he can manage to combine it with a laser, that's a lot of burst damage. And even though Lena's Laguna Blade won't benefit from it anymore now it's pure, Lena's other spells may benefit, but she's going to be dead for another 7 seconds while they try to hold this.
And they're going to constantly see the Lincolns being applied to Lifestealer from the Invoker as they're pushing. AC just delivered, so that's definitely a key item in terms of trying to push out a base right here. Ooh, there is a ward there, but IX Mike actually blinked. He blinked on it, and then he just Burrow Striked away. Had the gem on him, but did not want to stick around for long, so we'll keep the ward up, but falling back, picking up Invis, though. Ooh, they're looking to turn back in. Or not. I guess they just don't see them.
I hope they don't go on the bot lane.
Well, over here, the catch on the Skywrath Mage. Lena catches her first. Laguna Blade comes out. Glimmer Cape going to be popped. But there we go. The sentry put down, Disruption under, and Slark will finish the job. So you do see Sanking. Yeah, they're porting in.
Coming in. This is late, though. This is so late. And
oh!
Okay,
that's an illusion right there, unfortunately. It will pop out. They do jump onto Slark. Pops a Shadow Dance, though. And he has plenty of support nearby. Does DooWop, actually. So YRR on the Slark, pouncing away, waiting for that support to come in. Shadow Demon, he went a little bit too close. He's going to go down. X in the background, actually, activated on Tinker. But now trying to do the big damage, and they do end up taking out Sand King in behind. BSJ trying to survive, no ages or anything like that, gets the one kill. Going for the second one now, onto the Underlord, gets it, actually. And so Slark and Underlord dying. Tinker gets picked off. How about Tomato throughout all that, especially? Managing to keep doing work.
This is why he gets the Ag, and I can definitely see why playing Invoker like a pianist right now, and all of these crowd control spells are making life so hard for the Slark, and man, 3 buybacks, but the tower's already dead. BSJ gonna get pitted. He has Rage, though, so it's not too concerned. And 747, oh no!
Very greedy jump right here on his part. Glimmer Cape putting him under, though, and BSJ thinking about going back in, but not going to be worth it. Laguna Blade says hi to him, but not enough damage to be killing him by any means. So he'll fall back. That'll be the end of that. But definitely a 1-5 for freedom, and as you said, Invoker, he's almost level 25 actually too, so you're going to add that AoE Deafening Blast on top of that. His arsenal here.
Yeah, and that bot, or I guess the Dire Ancients fight, they had BSJ super low, and they all wanted to kill him, but he had that static charge up on the Mjolnir shield, and so if, like, everyone was at critical HP, and it was almost like whenever you see an axe at really low HP and all you can do is right-click him, you're like, I don't really know if I should go for this, because I might die doing so. And BSJ just took advantage of that while everyone was running away, just clawed away and managed to go basically 1v3 after Tomato popped in and finished off the Tinker. Now just one more fight, and I think Freedom might secure this game. Double damage rune on Lifestealer.
Yeah, that's good to see, and doing plenty of damage. Going to jump inside Abaddon, though, and they're going to make their way out of there, so trying to go for the quick tower kill and get out, but they come up short. Not going full retreat, though. Abaddon does have that blink, so being inside him still could be worthwhile. Obviously, DooWop, though, doing a good job of not really overcommitting, and BSJ will just pop out and farm up the lane instead. Another 20 seconds before that infest. Going to be coming back up, so a very passive mindset here continues to be played. Really by both teams, but especially more so by DooWop. So look at this, he rages, he's going right, and he really wants this tower, damn it. He's not going to get it, though, and he falls back, gets caught initially by the Pit of Malice, but they can't get the tower kill, so DooWop doing.
And now he's level 25 just about. I'm almost positive he'll be going for the Rage Duration talent, because if Tinker does manage to get a Sheepstick on Lifestealer, life is like this.
Nope,
but the Lotus Orb to purge it off.
Immediately, very well played right there, and now he's going for that Tinker. EMP hits, Mystic Flare, meanwhile, a lot of damage on the Snake King, but he's tanky. Out comes the Meteor. The back Laguna blade on Ike, Smike there in the back on the Sand King, but he'll survive. Prior time on Abaddon, can he get it off in time? Yes, he can. He uses it at the last second, and he'll right back up. Nobody dead throughout this so far, just a lot of back and forth. The tower goes down, and Freedom yet again going to reset, so it's just back and he's still not 25, actually. Granted, Invoker is in. Oh, look at this. Invoker actually went the Tornado cooldown. Minus 15 seconds.
So with an Octarine, that's a 10-second or 11-second cooldown on Tornado?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll take
11.25. Is that maybe to catch the Tinker, you think? What's the deal?
Yeah, I would imagine for the Tinker. I mean, there's so much potential that, like, Invoker doesn't want to have to get too heavily into these fights to get an AoE Deafening Blast off. And so even if he does manage to get it, really the only disarming worthy target is Slark, and he can just purge it off. Now he finds Yawar farming, goes for a Tornado, will have it again in 10 seconds if this fight continues, but he's going to leave.
Yeah, just used it right there, and going to be coming off cooldown right now. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, again, we usually see the AoE Deafening Blast, but like I said, I've seen it in one game before. Now, in that game, I do remember it was more of like a counter-push strategy, if anything, as they were actually kind of behind, and so he got it for that purpose of pushing out with the Tornado constantly, and they ended up winning the game, if I'm not mistaken. Whoever that was. Anyways, it was fun to watch. Yeah, now another game here we got on the list of Tomato picking it up.
Oh, Eagle might find Tinker here. I don't really know. He doesn't have the vision.
Oh!
He blinks right into him!
Oh,
Fiddlesticks, indeed, Tinker.
Oh, no, and that's 75 seconds, no buyback. And, yeah, what are they going to do now? Because they have to capitalize off of this some way, somehow. They're going to push out the lanes. I think they're definitely aware that he does not have a buyback either. I mean, yeah, they know that the timer's not up yet, so they immediately go to their middle and bottom lane and start pushing it. So that could be such a significant kill here if they get the bottom racks.
Well, Tomato gently pushing out mid as well with an 11-second Tornado cooldown.
There we go, just throwing those out like they're free. Essentially almost are. Sunstrike gonna miss right there. They do stun it onto Underlord. Again, it's kind of an interesting target choice. The counter shot, though, from Lina in the background. Meanwhile, gets the kill on the Sand King, but has to fall back shortly after. Shadow Dance popped by Slark in the midst of it, doing plenty of damage to Abaddon, who does not have the borrowed time anymore, and they will pick him off. So that's 2 dead. They did lose Underlord during that, though, and he's dead for about 100 seconds. No buyback. Tomato, another Tornado through. Sunstrike, it's going to land. Lina's dead, and she does have a buyback. Will she use it, though? Maybe, actually. Try to help defend this Rax at the very least. Not going to use it. Okay, there's a fortification. Want to stick in Alacrity applied to Lifestealer. Not comfortable enough. He has an Abyssal Blade, by the way, in his backpack. Does Lifestealer. I feel like, yeah, okay, he's going to give off the gem, and then there we go.
Yeah, no, he had backpacked it because the gem was lying around, and Slark and Lifestealer were both eyeing it, and they were like, I don't want to pick it up, you pick it up. And like Slark was just sitting there waiting, because if any one of them commits, the rest of the team could just jump on the target. But BSJ goes for it. And, I mean, it's 2 for 2 heroes, and they get a tier 3 tower out of it. But now Roche is up, and so that was an ageless fight as Invoker just now Sunstrike the pit, so... Team Freedom, they have all the cards right now. They have very aggressive wards, and right now DooWop doesn't really have any idea about the status of Roche. It's a late respawn, so they can guess, but, I mean, Team Freedom will take it so quickly, I don't even know if they can react.
Interesting about the Abaddon as well. I know you're even talking about last game, the possibility of seeing something like that Ags and how powerful that can be. But Basher into Abyssal Blade is what he's going instead. More of an offensive route here, more crowd control heavy.
And the Blink Dagger as well. Everyone just cares about the Tinker. It's all about the Tinker right now, and if one of them can manage to get the hop, then they should be able to keep Tinker stunned, disabled, silenced, whatever it is, long enough for the rest of Team Freedom to react. Oh, geez, 747. This is ballsy as all hell.
Oh, no.
He's getting
Abyssal
Blade
Blade?
now, so he can't blink.
Oh. He's dead. Does he have a buyback?
Is
no.
he,
He's dead again. And in the background, Yarwar jumped in, actually. Oh, no, that was not a good move. Does he have a Shadow Dance? He's going to pop it right here. They do pick off Sand King, actually, and he's going toe-to-toe with the Abaddon, but he realizes he needs to run now. Buyback on a Shadow Demon, by the way. Underlord Abyssal Blade locked down onto him. Eagle off to the side. Sunstrike going to come out, does not connect. Another buyback being used. Both supports are back up for DooWop right here. Sand King remaining dead. They want to kill this Underlord, but man, is he beefy. He's going to pop the Shivas, go for the turn, and actually they do kill Skywrath Mage in the background. So DooWop managing to make some plays right here. Slark, even though he got low initially, popped the BKB, the Shadow Dance, and he made it out. Now he's ready to go, full life, nearly full mana. There we go, the Deafening Blast pushing it backwards. Lifesteal sitting on him now, but he pops a Mana Style with the open wounds on him. He'll start getting away.
Tornado.
Another tornado, though, throwing him up in the air. That Sunstrike's going to miss. And Yara will just pounce away very defensively. These racks are still up, though. They just cannot get any damage on the racks. And Freedom, again, they may ultimately have to start falling back here because Tinker's up in 15 seconds. Another tornado spamming through again, but Yara, he's feeling comfortable. It does have a Shadow Dance. Gonna leap away. The Ice Path hits. Meteor comes out, but the Shadow Dance popped. And now Invoker's locked down. Is Invoker in trouble right here? They're gonna chase him down. The Shadow Demon puts him under. This could be a dead Invoker. And Tomato, another tornado yet again. Deafening Blast, pushback right there with the refresher as well. The lockdown though with the Masher. Yara though going with BSJ. Who's going to die first? It's going to be BSJ. Another tornado comes out. But actually Invoker will manage to some way, somehow get away. But the Epicenter finally happens and does take out Slark in the long run. That had to be a buyback, right, on Sand King? I'm sure it was. No, actually. Wow, that was just rezzing finally. And he comes back in. There was a buyback on a Lifestealer, though, at the very end. Crazy fight.
Crazy fight, yeah. That's the most euphemistic way you could put it. Basically like a 2.5 minute long slugfest between every single hero using every single item. I saw the Refresher Orb on the Invoker. I saw the Abyssal Blades being used by BSJ. I actually didn't get to see Eagle's Shadow Blade get used, which he does in fact have one, but yeah, that was pure chaos with ultimately no structural damage committed whatsoever.
I mean, the counter push, it is pretty ridiculous on the side of DooWop, but damn, it feels like they've really fought at this base like 4 times now, even with an Aegis, and they still cannot get the racks killed. DooWop is just holding, and you gotta wonder if it's truly gonna pay off in the end. I mean, Slark, he clearly is becoming more of a threat, but here we go, it's yet another round, and they're going middle this time instead. They're gonna get the middle tower killed. BSJ getting low, oh my, never mind, they're not gonna kill the tower, they'll fall back before they actually kill it. As it's a little bit too difficult. He does have the Aegis, though, so yeah, he is going to run back in. He's like, you know what, I need to get this. So he gets the kill. Now he falls back. Laguna Blade will snipe him, though.
Get him else up. Firestorm's up.
Lincoln's applied. And he's going to be able to be forced aft away despite being rooted. So he'll be fine. But Aegis is on cooldown now. Again, they got the tower at least. But the rack's still good to go. Tinker bottom lane. He should be good.
I think DooWop's heroes have been spending more time flying up in the air for the past 2 minutes than they have on the ground. These constant tornadoes. Yeah. I don't really know if it's like the right thing, because I mean I'm sure AoE Deafening Blast would be pretty effective as well, but it's hilarious because I keep seeing it being invoked on Invoker and I keep seeing it off cooldown.
Tinker's dead. I don't see him getting away from this one. Yeah, double Deafening Blast. Look at the double meat. He just really wanted to make sure with that refresher. Good catch there for Tomato. This time Tinker does have a buyback, though. Unlike the previous times.
Yeah, last time they didn't have the Tinker. They were able to defend, though. But actually now, yeah, Freedom doesn't even have the Aegis anymore either. So let's see. Can we pull off the 40th consecutive D-push?
There we go. Yet again. Round number 57. Underlord put under by the Shadow Demon. Buyback immediately onto Tinker. As soon as the Rax takes any bit of damage right there. Lifestealer jumped in the creep, so his Infest is on cooldown now. He's just trying to run this whole time, and he's having trouble, actually. Abyssal Blade locked down. You see Slark going toe-to-toe with them. BSJ continuing to run. Ice Path put down. BKB, the Shadow Dance popped out. Slark, it was able to finish him off. Not necessarily that evasion kicking in. And the Epicenter coming out of her turbo. Yara still well alive. Not for long, though. Then comes the Ancient Seal. Have to pop that Manta style. And now Skywrath Mage in a bad spot. How is nobody dead? Nobody dies. That whole fight, are you kidding me? Holy crap.
They're all alive.
Wow. That is shocking that nobody actually died there.
Did we even get a fight recap because no one died?
No. It's like the fight didn't even happen.
God damn it. I need to see the amount of damage being done. The amount of damage being done to my CPU is substantial because there's so many goddamn particles flying around right now. I can't believe no one died in that fight, though.
You know, for being an insignificant series, we're getting a couple of very entertaining games here. I'm not saying it's the most greatest Dota 2 that we're ever seeing, but it's fun. It's entertaining, and that's what I think you could ask for. All you could ask for, really, as a spectator in a case like this. So
yeah, no, this is like the street fight of Dota 2 right now.
Who's the top tier 1.75 North American Dota 2 team? Oh, 747 jumps in the background. The Mystic Flare comes out. Yara, though, he's going right for the Sand King. Deafening Blast backwards from Invoker in the background. Sand King, no, Lotus Orb popped, trying to escape out of this. Having some trouble. He's being locked down. Force-staffed every which way. The Rocket's coming out. Another Hex, and he is dead. That's a buyback, though, yet again. Sunstrike, another Tornado. EMP going off, but the Force-staffs are real. Keeping everyone alive, so that time around Sand King the only one to actually die. But how about DooWop? I mean, they're pushing out now, and this Slark, he's become very relevant and very scary.
He's become very relevant, but he just now got to his 5-second BKB, so the first few fights were a real good time to have 10, 9, 8, 7-second BKBs. Now it might be a bit trickier, especially since now they're on the attack rather than the defense.
We'll see, Freedom. Holding out their base. It's their turn to hold now. He's pointing in the bottom lane, actually. This first tower is still up. That's insane, actually. Finally going to be destroyed, it looks like. They catch Shadow Demon, though. He doesn't have a buyback for 70 seconds, and honestly, anyone dying at this point, no buyback, feels pretty significant to me, the way this game's been going, but we'll see if they can capitalize off of this. Another minute here that he'll be dead. I don't know if they're really going to be able to, though. Slark ports out. Slark going for that MKB now, by the way.
Yeah, he's having to deal with this passive evasion of Lifestealer and the Radiance aura, so... Oh, what? What?
He got him again, this time over here. What, did he blink into him? I didn't actually see, unfortunately.
E-God.
He kills him so quickly, too. The Blade, the Dagon. I'm sure he just melted immediately, so we'll go with that.
No buyback. Eagle doesn't have BOT, so he's going to have to run his way down. But man, this has to be a Rex, right? Right?
No.
No.
The way this game's going, no. That's your answer. Underlord's just too hard, man. That Atrophy Aura, no doubt. That's one of the things that we can't really see, but...
Atrophy Aura and 50 HP regen per second, because he's level 25.
Oh, that's true, yeah. You got that talent there, so... BSJ running in. He's going to be stunned, though, by Yara. Tinker not up for 45 seconds. Shadow Demon is, though. Lotus Orb popped onto BSJ. As I think that might have been Lena being put under right there to save her. He wants this Rax kill, but he just doesn't do enough individual damage. And BSJ's in trouble, actually, being heavily locked down. In comes the Barrel Strike's down, but the BKB onto Yara popped right there. Going after this Lifestealer. really trying to finish the job, but they just can't kill him either. He just is too damn tanky in the end. So look, the Rax took like 100 damage that whole fight. 100 freaking damage. Another tornado. Here we go. Jumping in yet again. Round number 124. Underlord pops the Shivas. Glimmer K put under. Ix Mike jumps in, but he's low himself. Double deafening glass coming out. It looks like the silence in the background. Underlord. They will finally kill him. Buyback immediately. And now Tinker's up in 1 second. They have fortification yet again, and they're going to save it. Tomato does pick up a kill on Alina, actually, in the background. Sunstrike, it looks like. And now BSJ really wants it. They finally get it. The Rax is destroyed. GG, well played. Game's over. No, not actually. But
not so
it feels
fast.
like it could be with the way this game's been going. Jeez. That's like a climbing Mount Everest right there. And they're still hanging around. Reset. Oh God, just look how safe they're playing. This is insane. DooWop, I mean, you can't blame DooWop because they have to. This is what they have to do to win. But, man, it is boring to watch when it comes to them just sitting in their base.
Oh, man. Right now, Team Freedom, like, just constantly, like Sisyphus, trying to constantly push that boulder up the hill, and it just never works. At least they finally get the melee racks. Part of me wonders that, like, why didn't they just go for the range racks if they knew it was going to take this long? They just kept chipping it away and getting, like, no damage done. It would regen back up. I felt like there was a treant in this game for a second, the way that DooWop has just managed to hold on to all their structures. If it took that long to take one tier or one melee racks, I don't even want to imagine what it's going to take for these next two lanes.
This is a 90-minute game in the making at least. At this rate, 55 minutes in right now, so it feels like we're just getting started with finally the Rax kill.
Do we have any other fresh 25s to look at here? Let's see.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
We've talked about Underlord. Slark went for 3-second Pounce Leash. Oh, okay. So I can definitely see why Lifestealer is getting very irritated by that.
True.
Lifestealer, as we said, went for the Rage duration. Abaddon, what has he gone for? Went for 200 aphotic shield HP. So, I would have figured that.
Okay.
That's what I would have thought as well. Especially seeing as how Abaddon is a strength hero himself. He's built these right-click items. Yeah, I'd have thought strength would have been the play, but alright, whatever. Invoker, as we said, went for Tornado cooldown reduction. And now, Skywrath is going to be next on deck, and he gets multiple ancient... Oh, no, never mind, that's his Ag. Yeah, he can get 14 mana regen or 4-second ancient seal cooldown, both of which are pretty good.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. I haven't been necessarily noticing his mana pool in these fights, so obviously if he feels like he's maybe having... I mean, there's a lot of sustain going on. So if he feels like these fights are lasting forever, which they kind of are, and he's running out of mana mid-fight, then yeah, I think the 14 mana regen for sure, but...
Yeah, I think he's a bit shy about using his ult, because his ult is 800 mana, which is basically like half of his pool, so we'll see. Might not even hit level 25. Actually, what am I saying? This game's still going to go on for another 40 minutes.
He's going to, yes. Anyways, here we go. The jump onto Yara, pops the Shadow Dance though immediately. Abyssal Blades on each other, actually going to stand toe-to-toe with one another, but he gets held up, and they burst down Sand King in the background. BSJ, though, going after the Underlord. Meanwhile, he's taking the auto attacks from Slark in the background, adding up those charges, and BSJ will fall 120 seconds. He does have a buyback, though, so this time it's actually DooWop holding off Team Freedom bigger. They're getting kills, and they make an Invoker as well. What happened to Slark all of a sudden? It feels like he's just five-shotting people. Invoker will barely live, but down goes Abaddon. And he's going to stay dead, actually. Skywrath Mage, similar story. F-Blade ain't going to save him. He'll fall, too. And they clean them all up. The ranged Rax actually stays alive there. And Invoker, the sole survivor. That damage on Slark, man.
Slark, it's partly the damage, but now he has finally completed that MKB, which means that Lifestealer can be made much quicker work of. Oh man, okay. Tomato. Tornadoes. Buyback on Eagle. Yo, is this the death push? No, of course not. They're just gonna back off.
No, the buybacks. If anything, get the buyback to be used. So, see if they can. But no, they're not even gonna go all the way. Here's a Divine Rapier clicked. I love that. Well, what is he replacing though? The BKB? He wouldn't do that, would he? Maybe the boots.
I'd probably go for the Silver Edge. I think.
Really? Oh.
Because now initiation isn't that big of a concern. Like everyone's 5-on-5ing, and I'm thinking that they still have the gem. Oh man, if they don't actually have a gem anymore, oh okay, never mind. Hold on to the Silver Edge for dear life. Oh man, but now he has an Aegis to throw into the mix also.
He's just, what do I do with all these items? There's that picture. He's just dropping all the items all over the place because he just has so many now.
Tomato finds 747, or rather, Tomato finds out that he can't deal with 747. He's dancing around.
Skywrath coming.
Under attack.
Skywrath is coming. He bought back to do this. Try to hold right here. They did not want to give it up. There's Fernando number 1. EMP on top, so going to stay alive for the time being. In the background, Tomato gets the Shiva actually first on a Tinker. It's going to be fine though. Roshan goes down and Yar on the Slark picks it up. So they try to distract him if anything, but they weren't having anything of it.
Tomato getting hexed.
And if he's going to get chain hexed here. He just chain hexes him. That's a kill. He's going to do that. And now Tomato's dead. Buyback is ready. We'll see if he has to use it now. But with an Aegis Slark pushing, with a Divine Rapier in the making at least, I think he may have to buy back.
We'll see. It wouldn't be too big of a deal. Invoker has basically been 6-slotted for like the past 15 minutes, so I think he's just fine with that. Let's see. Oh, so what did Skywrath ended up going for? He went for the mana regen on talent. Okay. Now, right. Tinker's next on deck. He is... What does he have? 20% spell lifesteal. Holy crap, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is. Wow.
What the hell? 100 laser damage? Why would anyone ever take that mid lane? Oh, God.
Oh, we're looking at talent trees. Meanwhile, bid fight's coming out. Slark, he's at about a third of his life, but he pops a Shadow Dance. He goes in, looking to finish off Sand King. Will do so. Sand King has a buyback. No buyback yet in Evoker, remember. We're talking about that. I guess the tower is still up. Abaddon, he is going to get the borrow time up, of course, and he'll be fine. Aegis popped by Slark here. Probably going to play a little more defensive now than he was before. They do catch Skywrath, and he is staying dead, actually, for 120 seconds. So Skywrath a little too far up. Sand King forced to buy back. BSJ on the Lifestealer, doing what he can, is standing in the front lines. Going at it with Snake King, but of course just really trying to push him out. Remember, they have a Dark Rift if need be. Tower's going to fall. I don't... Yeah, Invoker choosing not to buy back here. If they lose a Rax...
It's okay if you lose a Rax.
True. Well, actually, Yar's taking plenty of damage. Can he get away? Yes, he can. Manages to escape, actually put under by Shadow Demon. The BKB pouts away using everything now. Shadow Dance in 1 second. Invoker is up. He is going to be healed to full. Is that Slark, by the way. Meanwhile, the Hex in the background. Actually, Lifestealer getting really low. Lifestealer's dead. Will he buy back immediately? Not just yet. There we go. He does buy back. Invoker, again, he still has the buyback, remember. He didn't use it right there. He just simply resurrected. Lena, meanwhile, pushed forward. She's going to die. Now the Sheep in the background onto Underlord. Scythe right there, but Slark is still hanging about. He wants to go for the Lifesteal. The Abyssal Blade popped. And there goes the Rage, though. Again, toe-to-toe. Who's going to win this battle? Abyssal Blade counter onto Slark, but Shadow Demon again puts him under, so let's reset that fight once again. Slark jumping back in, going for the Abaddon. Another borrowed time. It's insane how long it takes these racks to actually die, but it looks like the melee racks is finally going to be falling soon. Unless Slark, he gets caught up right here. There we go. Melee racks goes down, but now Slark, he's very low. Shadow Demon has another put under, but pops a Shadow Dance. Will survive the Sunstrike. That might have hit, actually, but he stays alive. In the background, they do finally kill Snake King, and Alberia here on Shadow Demon also going to go down. Another buyback on Underlord. And look at this bottom lane, that's why. The creeps were doing work down here during all that.
Shout out to creeps being able to get a Rax quicker than a team of 5 can. You know, whatever. No big deal. Everyone is level 25 except for the Lena now, so what did Tinker go for? What? He went for the laser damage? Are you kidding me?
Are we missing something? I mean, with the Ags, sure, but I guess.
Tomato's not missing Slark right now.
Oh no, pops a BKB, and now Tomato regretting this immediately! No.
Immediately regret my decision.
Divine Rapier, Rex, Invoker, just learning this. And he's dead for 90. Again, he didn't buy back last time, though, so...
I'll take that.
Still has that. Look at Lifestealer. Now he's actually building into an Orchid here. I mean, we're just seeing these mind games coming out, just like building... Like, could you argue that maybe he should actually think about getting a Divine Rapier himself?
I'm baffled that he hasn't gotten a Moon Shard yet. How has that not happened like 20 minutes ago? But I don't know. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, Slark has 7,500 gold. He could also just get that Moon Shard and eat one if he wanted to. So.
Yep, which is what he does.
Did he? Okay, there you go. So now 3,500. He does have enough for the buyback, I'm pretty sure.
Do you have a walking courier in the mid lane?
what's on it? Nothing. Huh.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
On your mission, Courier. Okay. Bit of malice. BSJ on the life stealer again. I said this before. He's locked down, but he's going to be fine. Infest jumps. Silence in the background by Skywrath Mage onto Tinker, it looked like, but he runs back. Underlord caught. Throwing up in the air. Pops a Guardian Greaves, trying to run this whole time.
Oh, E-Blade defensively.
That's going to keep him alive against his auto attack, so very smart play right there. And he's going to keep walking away, but actually Lifestealer does chase him down, but again, Shadow Demon now saves him. Meanwhile, up here, Sarko, he almost going to come with the Sunstrike, but he's going to fall, actually. And the Divine Rapiers now on the ground. Who's going to pick it up? Somebody needs to just drop something. I think Sand King actually... Oh, Abaddon got it. Okay.
Let's go, Jubei.
He does have a Basher to go with as well. All right, well...
Strength, though. That would have really rounded it out.
That's now a Divine Rapier down, and now it's Team Freedom's turn to actually push back in. Oh boy, indeed. Yeah, the only logic I can make with the laser damage is that it's with the AoE.
We had that discussion. No, but he doesn't have an ag.
You're right. Yeah, he doesn't have an axe anymore. So
yeah, I don't understand it.
Huh? Yeah, that over 20% lifesteal. That seems odd, but maybe we're missing something. I don't know.
So let's see. I didn't talk about Shadow Demon yet. Went for what? Why would you go for the Shadow Poison? Am I high? Do I not know how to play this game or something? He has... okay, he doesn't have an ag, granted. But still, plus 400 damage? That makes your... It's 800 damage nuke? What?
But Shadow Poison.
But Shadow Poison.
You can cast... I mean, okay, to be fair, the benefit of the Shadow Poison is the counter push aspect. Granted, do they really need more counter push? I don't think they necessarily do, so maybe that's what he was thinking with it, and just the ability to just apply... And these fights are lasting a long time, so maybe it's that logic that with all the sustain, I'm going to apply a lot of poison and do damage that way, I guess. But yeah, we're seeing some level 25s that normally we don't get to talk about, but because of this game, we do. And
oh yeah, speaking of which, the other one, Sand King, also went for 50 HP regen. It's
yeah.
Sand King and Underlord dueling with these obscene amounts of HP regen.
True. That is true. Yeah, there's people actually bring it up, which is... I can see the point now in hindsight that getting a Divine Rapier on Slark might have been a poor choice, considering that at that point they were starting to actually kind of be ahead. I mean, they were down a racks to be fair, but it felt like they were starting to be pretty dangerous. I mean, you could argue maybe Slark, get another big damage item instead.
I would actually think that Refresher on Slark would be pretty good, but it's kind of risky maneuver. I don't actually know what Yawar had dropped for the Rapier. Oh, man. He's playing very aggressive. There's a gem. There's no gem. There are no gems.
They do have a gem summon. I saw right there. But anyways, they jump Skywrath first, and Skywrath is dead again. No buyback on him. Will this transition into Roshan? Or will they try to go mid?
Gem on Abaddon.
Okay.
Rosh is not up yet.
Oh, that's right. So they're going to push out a lane instead. Obviously, middle already cleared. Let's go top lane.
Yo, Invoker should be tossing out tornadoes to make sure this lane can't get into the base.
Yeah, not doing that yet. I'm a little curious about that. Well, Lifestealer instead of stand there and push out with the rage up. They're like almost aggroing into their base right here. They want them to fight at the tier 4s is what they're saying. So they're really trying to bait them out, really. But
what did Lifestealer drop to hold this Orchid? Did he have his armlet that late? I don't think he did.
I was wondering that too, because I actually didn't catch that. But anyways, in the background, Jimmy with that Divine Rapier, remember, he's doing plenty of damage on Alina. Lina survives, but now if you're Abaddon, you gotta be careful. The borrowed time pot, but that's gonna be wearing off. So yeah, he gets away immediately. As you see, Lifestealer takes a look at Blade Epicenter in the background, though. Luna managing to live this whole time. Skywrath still just remaining dead, of course, from earlier. Slark, a pounce that's gonna miss. Nice heal scepter by Ike's Mike. Lotus Orb not gonna save him against the sheep, but that'll be wearing off any second right now. Gets a sheep on a Tinker right here, actually, in the background. Now you are. He's going at it with Lifestealer again. The Sunstrike coming out. Underlord taking some good damage, but Lifestealer made a fall right here. Yep, he's dead for 120 seconds. No buyback. That could have done it right there. And now Abaddon.
Now he has buyback.
Oh, now he has. He just got it. Okay, never mind. Abaddon, another borrowed time. He has a Divine Rapier still, remember. And he's staying alive throughout all this. Chasing after the Shadow Demon. He gets the Bash proc. Get those auto attacks in there. Down goes Shadow Demon now. Speaking of no buyback, Dark Rift activated. And Underlord should be able to get away. as he does there. Okay. Bottom lane, what was going on there? I guess Skywrath is maybe pushing it in.
We all know Skywrath is the best split pusher in the game, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, top lane, Yawar still is in the area. He has a BKB. Might have to BKB TP. Oh, but the bash? No, Jubei can't get in.
He's like, move. Yeah, he couldn't get in there. No blink ready. And makes the escape.
Some real Dota being played here, I must say.
Yep. Certainly is. 70-minute match approaching here. What a game. And yeah, Freedom, they also had the 65-minute game earlier against DC, remember, to kick it all off. So finishing with starting with a long match and going to finish like they started here. It's another long grind here in the group stages again. Their final, both of these teams' final games here, of course, of the group stages. So Lifestealer going to drop Roshan, Aegis, as well as Cheese.
I guess he drops the boots for this, but man, he really needs... No, okay, he drops the Lincolns for it. Okay.
Oh, he dropped Blade Mail, apparently. I'm being told it might have been Blade Mail that he dropped earlier.
I didn't even know he had a Blade Mail. We're fighting here.
Yeah, initiation. They throw up Tinker in the air. Again, though, Shadow Demon good at saving as Skywrath Mage gets picked off in the background. You see Abaddon trying to chase down that Shadow Demon support, but the kite, again, is so powerful. By the way, Roshan killed. BSJ picks up the Aegis over here. Slark, he's being locked down. Tornado throws him in the air. Pipe coming out, mitigating plenty of damage. Underlord, though, tanky presence ain't tanky enough. He will fall the miss out of that aura now, no longer taking effect. You got to wonder how that's changing something. Slark's getting low, by the way. They pick off Shadow Demon, and Slark may die after this. He has a Shadow Dance, but I don't think he's getting away. Oh, Pounce ain't going to be enough. The Earthblade trying to defensive Earthblade right there. Keep him alive. Another Earthblade coming out. It's not going to matter. He'll fall in the end. And he's dead for 120 seconds, and now it's Team Freedom's turn. And does he have a buyback?
Release me from this hell.
GG, they call. Are you kidding me? They're not going to let it end the old-fashioned way? Come on. Oh. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Slark leaves, and that's GG, well played.
That's it.
After all of that. No, that was a hell of a fight, though, to finish it on. And I don't even know, really, what analyst do you give that game other than it's just chaos back and forth.
Yeah, that was World Star Dota. Shout out to USA. Shout out to NA Dota. Really.
Yeah.
This is it was ruthless. I got nothing.
I don't got much more myself. That game was just so much back and forth. The decision making at points is a little bit of head scratcher. At the same time, there was also just some big plays being made, and the team fights, man. They just went. I really think, obviously, on DooWop, you had Shadow Demon and Underlord that no doubt were providing so much defensive mechanisms. And then on the other side, you had the likes of Abaddon, of course. And then Lifestealer himself is very kind of beefy and hard to kill with that rage constantly going off. So I guess it's just the sustain between the two teams just proved to be absolutely absurd.
Yeah, both teams are basically like playing tower defense, and the fact that a whole bunch of teammates would be buffing up their one position. The Slark would be getting E-bladed, he would be getting Glimmer Caped, he'd be getting Force Staffed, and everyone's just like, I'm going to spend all these items and we're going to see how it works out for this fight. And then on Freedom, everyone was throwing stuff on BSJ's Lifestealer. Ultimately, it seemed like, I guess Team Freedom had the... Well, I guess we may go back to diagnose if the Rapier was maybe a questionable purchase, but I mean, there were like infinite number of variables, and in a parallel universe, that game probably ended in 15 minutes, and DooWop took it.
There you go. It was a Radiance, actually, so it actually wasn't a Blade Mail being trolled by that.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, how do we forget the Radiance? Like, that was the...
Could not forget the Radiance.
Like, when you have a 70-minute match with just crazy fights like that, I guess it's understandable. All right. Well, guys, that means we are going to be done, though, for the night here. I guess safe to say what a match to end on for the night, and that's going to be a conclusion here as far as coverage goes. So, from myself, again, I really enjoyed casting here another day of the Starletter iLeague StarSeries. Tsunami, I want to thank you for joining me. Any shout-outs you want to give here?
No, nothing in particular. My pleasure for stopping by. The first series that we had wasn't nearly as extensive as this, so I feel we have shared something special here today.
I agree. Started off pretty fun as well, again with that longer match, and DC, though, eventually came through and did not allow Freedom to play the spoilers, but Freedom does finish strong here with a 2-0 victory. And again, a pretty fun final game to do it on. So, but again, guys, tomorrow will be the final match of the group stages for the American region. Let me try to double check on the time of it. It's looks like at 20 Eastern, so that would be 8 p.m. Eastern. So 8 p.m. Eastern, what is, I want to say 2 a.m. Central European time, is when Complexity versus NP will be taking place. And it just so happens, again, in case you missed it, that match will have significance on the line. Complexity, if they somehow 2-0, I say somehow, but I mean if they manage to 2-0 against Team NP, it means DC will actually be going to the main event. If NP wins even one game against Complexity, it will be Team NP representing the American region. So it's going to be fun to see how that looks. Again, I'll definitely be watching it. Not going to be casting it, though. We'll see who they have around for tomorrow, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. And, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. So, as far as myself, again, Breaky CPK, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And a really big shout-out, once again, to BTS especially, as well as Starladder, on allowing us to participate in said coverage here. Had a lot of fun with it. So, have a good night, guys. See you next time. I'll see you tomorrow as far as that final match to come. So, have a good night, guys.